So basically, I can remember a patient specifically coming in, and the patient had she had tried all kinds of hairstyles. She tried some she sew-ins, she had tried braids, and she was losing all the hair around her edges, even in the back. And I specifically remember not knowing what to do for her. I knew how to figure out her problem and treat her problem, but I was like, I had to call Lisa. Like, Lisa, what is this? Well, we had a conversation, like, so what do we do about that? And she started talking about protective styles. So protective styles, I feel like are styles that help us in the medical field because we can pass the buck. But yeah, so explain more, what are the protective styles? What did you do for that patient?
Well, protective styles are just styles where you can just put your hair, away for a while. So like if your hair is going through something, or you want to go and put your hair away to grow out a few inches and not mess with it, you can braid your hair down and add a hair, technique style on to your hair. And so those are fine, as long as the process or the person that's doing the process is keeping the hair in mind, making sure that they're protecting the hair while they're putting this hair on top, like not braiding too tight, mostly. That's issue. And as far as like what clients should do before and after, I always suggest that they come and they get a treatment and maybe a trim. And just recently I added in like a moisturizer, more like because at first I would have said like some oil, but I feel like the oil isn't protecting the hair enough, because over the years I've found, especially like with the braiding hair, that the chemicals that the braiding hair is made with is very harsh, and it extremely dries out the hair extremely, after that process. So putting now I think like a shea like a butter type texture, on the hair before you get it braided down, something like that to help. That's what I suggest. What do you?
For me, it's really about what's going to work for a client's lifestyle and also what's going to work for their treatment. So I have to kind of sift through what she says. Medically, they have advised her, because some people come in with like topical creams. Some people come in and say the doctor told them to shampoo this amount of time. So I have to kind of listen to that and say, hey, what's going to work? So is it going to be a crochet? Is it going to be a braid? If I know that you already have an issue with tension, why am I going to suggest something that has a braid to it? Something that's going to make you do that. Even when we have clients that come in that don't necessarily have. Sometimes I tell people, I say, okay, we're going to put your hair in the hospital. You just gonna get you a wig, you're gonna cut it down real nice, because they don't have a situation where I'm comfortable putting them in a style that's gonna allow them to thrive and be comfortable being who they are. I tell people, I never want you to go out in public and not feel comfortable. So sometimes if I gotta braid you down and I gotta tell you what to put on, make sure before you put your wig on, make sure you put your shea butter on, whatever that looks like, just to make sure that everybody has a great experience. Because I know what it looks like, I know what it feels like. Because when you're dealing with people for such a long time, they come to you, and to have a client for 6 years and for something to happen to their hair is like it's mine. Like I feel like I know Ms. Lisa feel like that's her hair. Like at the end of the day, like you might walk around with it, but if something happens to it, it's like, why'd you do that? Like it really hurts you. So I really try to make sure that whatever their treatment protocol is, from north to south, east to west, I make sure that we all are consistent. Even if that's crochet, cornrows, anything, whatever that looks like. I don't care. Whatever it looks like, I just want to make sure you get what's needed that's going to help you. If it's July, you're going to get you a wig, we're going to cut it down, we'll see you in August, you're going to come back, get your treatment, we're going to do it again. If it don't look no better, guess what's going to happen in September? We're going to braid it down, we're going to do it again. Because it takes time, we all have to be vigilant And I tell people, before you go into anything that you're going to keep over 2 weeks, you need to be here, sit down, get your trim, get your proteins, whatever your hair needs, whatever you need, you get it before you go into that style. You want to use that style as a growth phase. You want to use that style as something that's going to help you and not hurt you.
Right.
The worst thing in the world is when you get a style, you go get braids, or you go get something, and you come out of it and your hair is 3 inches shorter than you started.
That's just awful.
You know, or the hole is bigger than what it was. You know, it's like, wow.
No.
That hurts. That hurts me.
Too.
You know, so I can imagine if I got to go home with it, you know, I know that hurts. So I really just try to make sure that clients get whatever it is that works.
Yeah, medically, it takes about 90 days for you to see a difference in changing hair. So any adjustments that you make, start putting on your skin, it usually takes about anywhere from 60 to 90 days, and that's because of the hair phases. So you make sure, I always tell people that, like, don't expect results next week. 90 days is what you can expect. So at least 3 months before you really see what your hair is going to start doing. So you're correct in saying, hey, it's going to take a while. Yeah. And it's going to take a little bit.
I mean, we got to work.
It took all this time to damage it. It took all this time to damage it. I got a question though. So I got patients that come in on a regular basis, and my goal is I'm not against relaxers. Okay, but I'm lying. I actually got a website I'm starting called NoRelaxes.com.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? I can't physically say that I'm 100% against relaxers.
No, I'm not anymore. I'm not
What?
anymore.
Get out there.
No, I've had some hairdressers. Literally, I had a hairdresser call me and curse me out. Literally curse my staff out, and then say, "Hey, tell him to call me." I'm sending him all these clients, and he taking mine away. So I had to step back and realize what I was doing. I don't have a problem with the relaxers. I have a problem with the culture of the way they're being done right now, or being done, period. It literally says, to avoid hair loss and skin injury, do not apply to skin or scalp. Every relaxer says that. I've bought them. I've carried the instructions in my pocket to show people.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to touch the scalp.
You're not even taught that in school.
What? Don't let it touch the scalp?
Yeah, you're never taught to apply a relaxer to a scalp, even in school.
Exactly.
Where did that come in at, then?
That's the point.
What's
Bone
happened?
straight.
What happened?
My roots.
Yeah, but what's happened is like the theoretical by the book Malay standard of a relaxer is to rearrange your bonds, is to break down the bonds, not to make your hair straight. Anybody who gets a relaxer to make their hair straight, if your hair lays flat when you get done, it's done wrong. Period. It's not supposed to be straight. But what I say I'm against it in the sense of I'm against anything that's not done properly.
Gotcha.
And as a culture, it has been put in a position where it's acceptable to be improper.
Exactly.
So I don't like that.
Yeah.
Now, do I understand that some people, hey, if you want to keep throwing that on your scalp and you live your life, you'll be back. You coming back.
That's how I feel about
You coming
patients.
back. You know, you want to eat bacon all your life, you coming back.
Yeah.
You know, it happens, but that's not what you're taught. You're taught to apply a relaxer 1/8 inch from the scalp.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, I'm lying. You're supposed to apply 1/8 inch sections, 1/2 inch from the scalp.
Okay.
You're never supposed to go down toward the scalp. You're
That's
taught
the
to
thing.
smooth out. You're not taught to smooth in. And I know that because I teach that.
Good.
Listen.
Good, because that is the biggest problem.
But you know, as a hairstylist, I can understand.
Yeah,
You
time.
know, when you got to slather it on, it's gonna lay it down a certain way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna lay it a certain way. They're gonna feel like it blows with the wind. And it's so crazy because I hear people say, "Oh, I got me a relaxer. I can feel the wind in my scalp." Okay.
Let me tell you how I got my first experience with relaxers. So I'm in school, in PA school, and I'm learning about all these chemical reactions and all this stuff. And my sister's at my house, and I hear some in the bathroom go, "Whoo, whoo!" And I run to the bathroom like, "You okay? Are you okay? You okay?" She goes, "Yeah, just 5 more minutes. Woo, woo, just 5 more minutes." And I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What is this? Did you have to mix this? Are you a chemist? Like, what is this?" And she like, "Yeah, just 5 more minutes." I'm like, "But it says don't touch the scalp with it." She said, "But I want it straight." That threw me off, okay? Because it's just like after that, a few years later, her hair was falling out. She was doing her own relaxers. Not only was it not professionally done, but it was done, it was wrong. So that is what got me into like dealing with women with hair. And I knew at that point, and of course, working with a black dermatologist She taught me a lot about hair. But at the same time, that's what made me prompt to understand, like, hey, this isn't right. And I started reading about it, started learning about it. This stuff is Drano. So literally, Drano, sodium hydroxide is the same thing that's in Drano. Yeah, just to let you know. But yeah, so that's how I got into it. But my question to you guys is, so what do I tell my patients to expect once I convince them that that's dangerous? Because a lot of them are fearful of getting out of it because they don't know what to do with their hair. So how do I tell them, what do I tell them to make them feel more comfortable about coming to a natural hair care specialist, or even just like that to take the fear out of it?
I mean, you can tell them to come to me in Norman.
Yeah. What do they expect?
But
like, what should they expect?
I know that it's hard for a lot of people to trust and or to even think that they could live, because they have not seen, there's a lot of clients that we have that have not seen their hair since they were like 5, 6 years old. So they don't know what they expect. They don't think that they would be able to manage it and stuff. But I mean, I would just continue to have them to, if they're here, they can come and see us, because we would gladly talk to them and try to convince them that we would be able to make a difference in their lives. I truly believe that. This, what we're doing here, trying to get together to talk about it and stuff like that, hoping that we would be able to help people to trust, what we're saying, and hopefully, that'll help too. They can, also they need to do research, but you should try to convince them that it's better. Because to me, in the long run, it's better to deal with your own hair than to have no hair. And the way that those relaxers and even the bad hair care, the way that it does our hair to the point that it could just break off and just be awfully hard to live with, is not worth it. And to me, from dealing with all of the people that I've seen, when the relaxers are gone and it's just their hair, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Right. Now it's dry and stuff like that because we're not doing the right things, but once you shampoo it and condition it and stuff, we all have curls, we all have, so that's where the hope comes in. Like, I do not believe that there's no hope in nobody's hair. All of our hair. So
everybody has hope. I agree. And I've got patients that come back from you guys and they go, I feel so free. They're like, I feel free. I can't even imagine what I was doing before. So I think if nothing else, we need to free our people.
Yeah, and so that's what we're gonna do. Just wear your own.
Towards it. So when I got my diagnosis, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't get a relaxer again. Like, really? Like, so,
just like that too.
Yeah, like, it was really devastating for me that I could no longer get a relaxer if I wanted to have a better end result. And so I thought about the long-term effects, and that's when I went to Lisa and I got the big chop. And Lisa don't know this, but when I left, I cried. Because I feel like I'm like a boy. Yep. But then, like, after she taught me how to care for it, like, it was more like training my hair. And I saw the beauty in it. I felt like my face was more present. And, like, I loved it. It took me a while. I was wearing big earrings and everything. But it was for me, it was the fear of, like, if you don't do this, this is what's going to potentially happen. And so for me, I was like, well, I want some hair. And if I want to be bald, let me choose to be bald and not let what my idea of what beauty looks like, having a relaxer.
And it's crazy because like a lot of people's transition doesn't have to be specifically like that.
Exactly.
I try to tell my clients, I'm here as a facilitator. I'm not here to change your life. What I'm here to do is to foster you into a better position in life. So I don't want to take away what you're doing. I want to tweak everything to make it more healthier and make it work in your favor. If you tell me, I go out all the time, I do this, I party, I'm a partier, I'm a swimmer, I'm not going to tell you, oh yeah, girl, get this press because you're going to live. No. I'm going to give you an option that's going to work for you, that's going to be more healthier, that's going to work with your hair, your texture. Do stuff like that. I always try to tell people that because people come here all the time and they're like, I've been looking for weeks, and I'm like, why are you acting like he's gonna kill you or something? And they'll really tell you that, and it's like, you couldn't have just walked through the door. You know, and it's a big. A lot of them have to build themselves up to come.
Yeah.
Like they sit outside and just like rock, and I'm
Yeah.
like, come on in.
Yeah.
Come on, but we ain't trying to change nobody's life. Like I ain't trying. I'm not gonna sit here and raise no book at you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be fussing. I'm not gonna make you feel like that. And I know a lot of times people come here and they'll say, "I went to a hairstylist and it made me feel bad about you know, what I do."
Yeah.
And or they'll say somebody told me it was me, you know, or it was something I was doing. Granted, it may be something you're doing. It ain't my job to tell you that.
No.
It's not my job is to say, okay, well, we're gonna stop rubbing over there.
Right.
All right? We're gonna get you into something where you don't have to rub that no more. We're gonna put you a wig on and get you a little piece of paper to write on.
I think the key is what you said is we. You know, it's
Yeah,
a conversation
that's what I-
because it's a we thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. We're all connected, but at the same time, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Even my patient sitting in a chair, I'm like, they like, well, you tell me what to do. No, we gonna figure out what to do because I'm not in your shoes every day, and I gotta move around what you're doing. I can't give you a specific medicine if it doesn't go with your ability to be here. You know, if you want me to give you this medicine, you got to come in every week for it, and you on the road all the time. That's not gonna work. So it's not about me. It's a group effort. Like it's a team effort.
So they gotta be honest.
They do.
They got to be
You have to be
honest, because like as hairstylists, when you've been doing this so long, you can tell. Like I'm serious. Clients come in and they'll say, "Oh, I'm on the train. I'm transitioning," and you can smell the relax on that.
I can.
But you know what? So, but when that happened for me, it was like 10 years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to find a natural hairstylist? And it took me a minute. It came with me having conversations with others to find Lisa so that I could find a natural hairstylist who could care for my hair. So it took some work, but now it's a plethora of natural hairstylists.
In Charlotte.
In Charlotte.
But
right.
that don't mean
Charlotte.
they might be bandwagon hairstylists.
Yes.
They might just be throwing some stuff on there.
I agree. It's a lot of stylists that say natural, but they mean natural hair and not actually being
If they're
natural.
doing natural
But
hair
you
and then they're
see-
doing a relaxer right after.
Because everybody had
You're not a
natural.
natural stylist,
Right.
You're not working
Exactly.
together.
But find her 10 years ago, and I'm still rocking with her.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's really
It's,
cool.
it's important and it's important that everybody understands we all got a role to play.
Yes.
And I feel like if we all are vigilant in playing our role, we always come out with a successful outcome.
Yeah.
But it's when one let the ball drop.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay to sometimes you gotta check your stylist. Sometimes you gotta be like, you ain't told me when to come back. You know, and that's okay. And then sometimes as stylists we gotta check clients like, you know, I see you ain't been you rearranged your appointments twice. What's going on?
Well, it's not a problem for me to rearrange, and then this is from a medical standpoint, not a problem for you to rearrange your appointment. It's if you haven't been here in 2 years, like, don't come complain. Like, don't come tell
Right.
me, hey, that medicine you gave me 10 years ago, it didn't really work. It didn't work, man. But but, you know, if your concern is going to be just as much concern as I have, you know, as much as you're concerned, I'm going to be just as concerned. If you cry in front of me, I might cry with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna cry for you and you ain't crying for yourself.
Yeah, you have to
You
be
know?
committed. Like,
So
I was
you
going
do.
once a month. Like, my appointments was
Oh,
once
yeah.
a month. And guess what? That was like eating for me.
Man.
Like, I was going to be
She
there.
was gonna
Right.
say, yeah.
How
you gotta
bad
be
do you
concerned.
want it?
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted it
And
bad.
that's the
I was
thing.
trying to be
Yeah.
cute.
That's me right
And
now.
I said that I wasn't cute before. but
Yeah, and it's not like you have to run in, but yeah, you gotta show some
Right.
some
Well,
guts.
I tell people all the time, you know, like a lot of people feel like natural hairstyles are very expensive. They feel like we're this big price. It's not. It's a lifestyle. Once you figure out your life, it's a part of the budget.
And not only that, I tell them that the things you're gonna do is gonna empower them to
Yeah.
the point where they
Right.
need you less.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then, I mean, 'cause Lisa I always told people, I don't think Lisa need no more clients. So you ain't really, like, if you don't want to go, that's on you. Like, I'm not here. Like, our relationship, and you can ask Lisa, our relationship is not a financial one. It's not, I'm checking how many clients she sent me, she checking how many patients. You know, it's not about that at all. It's always been such a natural thing.
Passion.
Yeah, it's been a passion met passion. And it's just the opposite ends of it. So it's always been that type of relationship. So a lot of hairstylists have always said, oh, you always sending people to Lisa, don't you? You send out my clients telling me you sending them to Lisa. Well, Lisa's been the one that's been passionate. Lisa's the one going all over the world.
Yep.
You know, Lisa's the one doing the classes. She's getting great stylists. I have never seen her have stylists that don't have passion in this place. They've always had passion. So that's that's a branding thing, so to say. And I want to give people the best brand, you know. So that's just what it is. So the passion makes a huge difference. And then you gotta have, you know, patience that's willing to listen too. You know, patience that's like, you know what, that makes sense, or it don't make sense. That doesn't make sense for my life, you know. So you know, you wanna make sure that balance is there. So.
But in addition to you know, something in particular causing me to go natural, but I feel like it's also me being natural. It was freeing when I did my big chop, which is my choice. It was freeing, but it's the diversity of it. I could rock an afro one day, wear a twist another day, and have a blowout the next week or whatever.
You can be 3 different people.
All
in 1 week.
Yes.
You could Beyonce, Cardi.
And don't talk about when you go grab their weed.
See, and you can still do that with
because that's my question. Are wigs safe?
Well,
I have a ton at this point.
So for me, I tell my clients, wigs are okay, but how educated are you on the wig? You got the wigs that got like 17 combs in it. You know, are you putting 32 bobby pins in it? You know, that's not working. You know, are you letting all that cotton just rub up against your edges? Are you slapping the lace glue all down here? And you know, like, how does that work? Like, what are you not going to get? What is your body not going to receive by you doing that? Are you sleeping in it? What does that look like for you?
Exactly.
You know, there's people who get lace glue on their forehead. They got that for 3 weeks. When you take that off, it's a white line there. You ain't getting no oxygen. What's going on? That's not. It can't be safe.
And the glue is toxic.
Right.
Yeah,
So the thing is, it's okay, but you have to understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. How does that work into your life? So that means if you want to wear a wig, I tell my clients, listen, make sure your hair is braided down. Make sure your hair is protected. Make sure you got some kind of butter on there. Make sure your edge, listen, you got to find something for the edges because that cotton is going to slip. You may have to readjust a couple times during the day, but it ain't taking out your edges. You know, it's one thing when you take that wig off and your edges go with it. You know, that's not a good look. So how you want it? You want the edges over there and what you want? Pick your choice. And I mean, sometimes I have to say it just like that. Because you don't understand it until it plays into what's real for you. So if you want to wear your wig, sis, wear her. Wear 3. But put it on right.
I don't have enough hair now to even braid it down, so
get you a wig cap, get you some butter.
Flick it.
Yeah, but I think part of this is the healing too. Like part of it is you just feeling comfortable with yourself, hearing the testimonies and understanding that you're not alone. That's a big thing. And you really my goal is usually to empower the patient. Like when they walk out, I want them to feel empowered. I want them to feel like that it's back in their hands. It's not somebody out the sky that's gonna come fix it for you. Like you have the power to fix it. And all you have to do is, you know, find the experts and find the people that's going to do it for you. So I think if nothing else, and then the diversity, like she was saying, like you could be anybody. You could, you know, you could get you could be Kelly, Beyonce, or Michelle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And whichever one you pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? So you could do all of that, and it's cool, and it's actually embracing. But you got to embrace yourself. The first. You know, to get the mind state switched in the first place, you got to embrace yourself. Because we're in a European mindset. We've been trying to be Barbie. You guys have been trying to be Barbie for the last 100 years. Just be honest. That's it. See how we've ended up doing stuff that's not ours. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the idea. You know?
And now you just got to adapt to be the best version of you. You know, if that means you got to be cold twist, you know, real cute with your bamboo earrings.
And you could be new. Like you could just start a whole new you.
You know change your name. This is who I am.
Like everybody say for the December 31st, all I see is new me, new year, new me, new you. Okay. You know what I mean? So do that.
That's true.
So as a client, do you feel like this is a journey you could go on? Do you feel like in a safe place to go on?
I mean, as far as, I guess I'm just rushing this growth thing because it's been like a little over a month, and I know that's a short amount of time.
No, it's okay though.
But you know, when I seen like 2 weeks into it, I was thinking like I thought I did something good for my hair, and then I see it breaking off, you know, and actually thinning out so where you could see it.
But if you think about this though, what would happen had you not went natural? And that had happened in the back of your head, and you would have never seen it, you would never have known. And then 6 months down the line, it's even worse than what it is today. And now you're just discovering it, and now there's a bigger issue you're dealing with. Like,
Now that whole 10 feet, take the shovel out your hand.
So it's crazy how sometimes life put things in line just for us to kind of say, oh wait, my car going off the road. Let me get my life together. Sometimes, and it's a reason for it.
Right.
You know, it's empowering you. You know, maybe it's a journey that you're gonna go on.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right.
So what were some of your fears though? Like, what were your biggest fears?
Not having hair in general, of course. Like, I'm not used to this. I wore sew-ins for a long time, braids, and you know, it caused tension. Like, I thought I was doing protective styles to protect my hair, but I wasn't taking care of it underneath. So, it started with the middle, and from there, you know, I'm dealing with the rest. But I just really I guess right now I'm like, I feel like I'm really plain. Like, I don't, you know, it's just really different.
That's actually the way it should, but that's the best way to be. It's like, you know, basically you have the potential to be anything. It's much like that stuff I was telling you, use stem cells.
Right.
You got the potential to do whatever you want to do with your hair right now. So it's kind of a new start, but I will tell you that as long as you have hair, you have a chance to do something. It's once the hair follicles are gone, once you don't have any at all, that you have a problem. So there's always hope. And like, you know, that's one of the biggest things I make sure patients understand. Always hope.
Yep.
Always.
Keep it going. Keep it alive.
Did you feel like we had a safe space here for you to come and for us to address whatever?
I really felt really comfortable. Like, I came in here to Miss Lisa, and you know, it was a consultation at first, and I had the stylist I went to, my mom's stylist. She's kind of, you know, she did the big job, and everything was fine. Like, I was like, you know, I have to get used to it, and I just thought it was gonna grow, you know, really fast. But I guess I was getting a little bit of confidence, and then it left 2 weeks later when I seen like the middle, because I was like, this is why I cut my hair. You know, why is it thinning? So.
Yeah, it's the hidden things that you don't see up under the skin that's happening. And now, and like they mentioned, like there's a transition that your hair has to be retrained, and it has to get its curl pattern again. It has to go back to what it naturally does. And part of that is gonna have some damage. Like, you're gonna have some breakage. You're gonna have some moments. But I've seen the other side of it.
Yep, me too.
It is a process. But it's a growth process. You're gonna learn a lot. It's weird that your
I'm
hair.
learning with my hair.
Yeah, like your hair is teaching you. Who ever thought?
You know, it's like learning yourself.
Yeah, you guys get to know yourself through your hair. I kind of like that. Maybe that's coin that phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool. So yeah, but thank you, Lisa. I gotta thank you publicly. Because I mean, like I had nobody. That's why I called. You know, like you said, I was just calling around to see. And happened to get you, Styles by Lisa of Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? So it was cool because now I had somebody that could hold my hand and be like, I could just, you know, connect my patients to. And like, she's giving me a testimony, like, you know, just boom. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool.
I also want to thank you because I wanted to be able to have somebody to send my clients to, you know, to help them because, you know, I want them to be helped.
Yes,
by somebody who's passionate.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're here for.
Okay, they come back with stories. It's so funny. I'm telling you, when they come back from seeing you, I'll be like,
did he say that?
It's so funny because the thing is, when we send patients to you, like, first of all, I only say your name. And I only say Asbury, right? Because if you tell a woman she's going to see a doctor that's a man about her hair, or you know, anybody that's taking care of her hair, she about to gel it up, she about to do all kinds of stuff. I don't tell her because I'm like, yo, you need to see the hair, you need to see the scalp. They'll come back. Why you ain't telling me you was a man?
Because they sit there and had a whole conversation. And I'm like,
take the hat off.
I kind of need to see your hair. You need to see my hair? Kinda. I mean, if I want
to see what's going on.
Say it real quiet. Yeah, I kind of need to see. Don't show nobody else.
It is hilarious. Yeah. I had one lady, she was like, I took my husband. I was like, oh.
Yeah. And they go in, and the thing is they come in, and I've found a knack to make sure I'm straight. Like, I try to shoot straight from the hip because I don't want you to think in between.
Yeah.
So I inform people everything I know, everything I can think of, because if you give in between, then people kind of teeter-totter. We don't want that. I don't want you to lukewarm. I need you hot or cold. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then I need you to make sure you're gonna follow up with a natural hair care specialist. That's why I send them, because if you don't, then I'm wasting my time. Like, if you're gonna, I do have a few like supreme clientele who like, look, I'm not getting out my relaxer. And I still send them over here because I'm like, you know, at least go over and get a consultation from somebody I can trust.
They don't come.
And they don't, you know what I mean? They don't, because they think that they're gonna have to cut their hair off. So it really, it's kind of interesting, but like you said, they gotta be motivated. Like we were talking earlier.
And then the thing about it is, if you slip up and you feel like you gotta go back to a relaxer or whatever that looks like, don't be ashamed to go back and start over. Like,
Yeah.
I've had so many people that have started a journey and then they slip, and then you see them in the store and the situation is worse. And sometimes I tell them, like, it's okay. I'm not mad. I promise you, I'm not mad. You still need an appointment, but I'm not mad.
They
Like,
do that
come
to me
back.
too. They come back, they be like, I know you gonna get me. I ain't gonna get you.
Oh, they'll have
relaxer gonna
they'll have
get
their
you.
hat on, they'll say,
Relaxer gonna
I slipped.
Yeah, like,
I'm gonna tell you before you get mad.
yeah, I ain't gonna be mad.
I'm okay.
I'll show up here every day. I'm gonna be here. So yeah, I'll be here. If you wanna come, that's fine. But yeah, it's an interesting concept, interesting journey. I just think just education is important. I don't want to beat people up or stop people from making money.
Yeah.
I just think it's important to educate. It's important to go to somebody who's not like, yeah, girl, I'll be there in a minute. Go ahead. If it start burning, let me know. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna be it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the culture of what we're doing. It's like a money maker. So I think the passion needs to get back into all of what we're doing. But you know, you really have to know what trust. Know what you're doing.
And I think sometimes that passion starts with self. Like you have to be passionate about getting to know who you are.
This is true.
Because I think a lot of times we're brainwashed to believe what somebody has taught us to believe, and we lose sight of what I really look like. What am I really doing here? You know. So I think
does what I look like matter that much? You know what I mean? That's the other thing. Is like, to a certain extent, you have to present yourself well. But does this form really make me who I am? It doesn't. You know what I mean? So you're not your hair. It's just packaging. It's it's the car that you're sitting and driving.
Right.
You know what I mean? So once you get to know yourself, I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. But the cool thing is, once you really get to know yourself, it's like a flower blooms. It's like everything fixes itself. You know, the sun's brighter and all that stuff. You're like, man, I didn't know life was this great. Where was I? You know what I mean? And it's all about you.
Right.
Like you, in a selfish way, not a selfish you, but understanding yourself to the point where you want to help everybody. You want to do this and do that. That comes from self-knowledge. That ain't got nothing to do with outside. So.
I'm calling it a phase right now.
Yeah, it's cool.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
phase.
okay. But the light.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for being a part of this discussion.
Cool. I'm Michael Asbury, physician assistant at Charlotte Dermatology.
I'm Latasha.
Sorry.
I'm Norman.
Ananda.
Lisa.